Good evening and welcome. You're with News First, your #1 news provider. I'm Shamir Rasuldi.
And I'm Nicola De Zoiza. We start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
Those found guilty of the rape and murder of a schoolgirl in Jaffna will be handed the maximum punishment through a special court, a guarantee from the President. Chief Prelate of the Askari chapter condemns the Jaffna incident. Strike at hospitals across the country, signs that strikers may lose their jobs. JVP withdraws from National Executive Council.
President Maithripala Sirisena says those found guilty of the rape and murder of a schoolgirl in Punkudithivu, Jaffna, will be handed the maximum punishment through a special court. The President made this statement while participating in the second phase of the Sujata Darwa program to assess school children in Jaffna this morning.
President Maithripala Sirisena met with students from 17 schools in the district at the Wembadi Girls School in Jaffna today. The students who participated at this meeting brought issues and shortcomings at their schools to the attention of the President. The President also met the parents of the murdered girl, Sivuhalanathan Vidya, at the residence of the Governor of the Northern Province and expressed his condolences to them. President Sirisena later participated in religious observances at the Nagavihari in Jaffna, where he also called on the chief incumbent. A group including the Chief Minister of the Northern Province, C.V. Vigneshwaran, and Deputy Minister Vijay Kala Maheshwaran also accompanied the President.
The Chief Prelate of the Askari chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Galagama Sri Attadasi Thera, speaking to News First, said today that the incident where a school girl in Jaffna was raped and murdered had shaken the whole nation.
We all must live as Sri Lankans. As a Buddhist nation, we are shocked by what took place in Jaffna. She was a decent child of 18 years. All the scholars in the nation and all the clerics and priests of the nation always preach to their communities that such cruel and malicious people are there in society. We do the same to our community. We say the same to the politicians. Do not speak of hate. Do not speak in rage. Speak in peace and point out the mistakes. If there is something with the government you do not like, speak about it peacefully. They will accept it then. Through that you can take this country forward. I wish that the blessings of Lord Buddha will be bestowed on you all so that all communities can live together in Sri Lanka.
A protest was staged at the Borala Cemetery roundabout condemning the rape and murder of schoolgirl Vidya Sivuhalanathan in Jaffna.
The protesters staged this demonstration demanding justice for Vidya Sivuhalanathan. A list of 16 demands for women and children was also presented during this protest. The Ministry of Health announced that all substitute and casual health workers who did not report to work today as part of the island-wide strike action across hospitals will be termed as those who had left their employment. Issuing a communique, the Ministry of Health says that immediate disciplinary measures would be taken against these employees. The Ministry has also instructed the hospital authorities to not permit any employee who had not reported for duty to remain in the hospital.
The strike action was launched today, citing 10 demands which include the payment of salary anomalies and proving the special allowance of 3,000 rupees. The OPDs of the hospitals were the worst affected as a result of the strike action.
The strike action launched by the All Ceylon Health Services Union caused treatment units at hospitals to be rendered inactive. I am currently at the National Eye Hospital in Colombo. The OPD of this hospital is not in operation. Patients who arrived here have been compelled to turn back and head home.
Security force personnel had been called in to minimize inconvenience caused to the patients. We did not know there was a strike action today. The patients have been severely inconvenienced because of it, and it is unfair.
It is after I came here that I got to know that there was a strike. I will not be able to get medicine for the next month.
I'm sick and I came here for a scan. We were here since 6 a.m. We request that they do not do such things to the poor and helpless people.
We have been here since 7 a.m. I did not even eat or drink. It is only after we came here that we got to know that there was a strike action. It is the army personnel who are giving us medicine now.
They should do this in a proper manner because it is the poor people who are being affected by this. However, the National Hospital in Colombo took measures to operate its outpatient department with great difficulty. The All Ceylon Health Services Union say that over 40,000 health sector employees took part in this strike action today, which will continue tomorrow as well. These employees are attached to 30 different grades of health services.
We commenced this strike action so that it will benefit the public as well as the patients. Our strike action is being carried out in a successful manner, and this will continue till 6:30 a.m. on the 28th of May.
Yesterday, the Minister of Health announced that subsequent to discussion with the Minister of Finance, Ravi Karunanayake, and trade union representatives, it was agreed to provide a 1,000 rupee allowance.
The previous government had promised to provide a 15,000 rupees salary increment to the Government Medical Officers Association prior to the election. That figure was dropped to 10,000 rupees. We invited the trade unions, including those from the nursing sector, for discussions. The 3,000 rupees allowance was also discussed. 22 trade unions that are affected by this have issued a statement requesting not to head into strict measures because they are holding a discussion with the government. With continued discussions, we have agreed for a 1,000 rupee allowance. When a doctor was given an increase of 10,000 rupees, the professions supplementary to medicine were only given 3,000 rupees. When you look at it, it is with the greatest difficulty that we obtain the 1,000 rupees. We are not taking part in the strike action.
The Minister of Health affirms that priority needs to be given to fulfill the health requirements of the poor who reach government hospitals seeking medication.
I believe everyone reported to office this evening and will report tomorrow morning, and the hospital will continue to run. However, it is the Ministry of Health that will facilitate in treating patients.
Brick by brick, our hearts become one, become a key stakeholder in national unity, a golden opportunity for schoolgoers. Join in the designing of the Unity Monument. Submit your design on an A4 sheet of paper before the 5th of June. Send in your submissions to Ranbhoomi Rally, MTV Channel Private Limited, 45/3, Braybrook Place, Colombo 2.
The Ranbhoomi Rally for Unity reached Mavanalla, the 57th stop on its journey across the island, fostering national unity by bringing Sri Lankan hearts together. The rally commenced its journey from Galagedara.
The One Bhumi Rally for Unity, spreading the message of reconciliation and coexistence from village to village, commenced its journey today from the village of Galagadawa. A glorious procession and marching band was organized to welcome the rally.
We were watching the television and we hurried over here. I did not have a proper breakfast. We wish you all the best for giving us an opportunity like this. We are very thankful to you. May the gods bless you.
The residents of Galagadara thronged to participate in the rally, showing their commitment to national unity and the togetherness of all communities for the development of the country through reconciliation. The people of Galagadara ceremonially gifted a brick for the Ranbhumi monument.
We are extremely pleased of the initiative undertaken by the MTV-MBC network, devoid of race and religion.
An environment has been created where we can all live as children from the same mother.
The Ranbhumi Rally for Unity then proceeded to Rambukkana. Organized by MTV-MBC, Newsfirst, Colombo Port City and the National Youth Services Council, the Ranbhumi Rally for Unity arrived in Rambukkana to a warm welcome from the people. Large crowds gathered in Rambukkana to join in the Ranbhumi Rally for Unity.
If a nation is to develop, the people need to have a positive attitude. We are already aware that this program has taken the initiative to build coexistence among the communities.
The Ranbhumi Rally then proceeded to Mavanalla, the end point of today's leg of the island-wide journey, with the blessings of the public. The people of Mavanalla too warmly welcomed the Ranbhumi Rally, the first and only program undertaken to ensure national unity.
I wish the best on behalf of the people of Mavanalla on this journey that commenced from the north for peace, unity and reconciliation.
We wish the Ranbhumi Rally from the bottom of our hearts for bringing all Sri Lankans together.
The people of Mavanalla gathered alongside the route to wish the rally, symbolizing their commitment to unity in diversity. The name of Mavanalla too will be marked on the Ranbhumi monument. The Ranbhumi Rally will reach the town of Gampola at 9 a.m. tomorrow. The Ranbhumi Rally for Unity is scheduled to reach Naulapitiya at 11 a.m. and then proceed to Ginigathena, the end point of tomorrow's leg of the journey, at 2 p.m.
JVP leader Anurukumar Dissanayake has accused the UNP of heading towards becoming a failed government.
The transaction commenced a 1 billion rupee bond issue. The central bank governor's son-in-law bid for 5 billion. When the issue is for 1 billion, then how come he bid for 5 billion? The son-in-law knew it would be increased to 10 billion. The loss was 6 billion when the transaction commenced. This thievery is happening wave after wave. What did the Ranil Wickremesinghes do? I say this with responsibility. The UNP has proven within 100 days that it cannot stop fraud, corruption and waste. A special unit was established to turn attention towards complaints and steer them. I can say now that I too was in that unit. But what has happened now? That the fraudsters are being punished. It is true that Basil Rajapaksa was arrested. It is true that Sajin Was was arrested. It is true that Johnston Fernando was arrested. Now if Johnston can be arrested, then Anurayapa must also be arrested. Money was taken from the Petroleum Corporation. Items were taken from Satosa and it was unloaded at Anurayapa's home. The serial account is in the name of Shrivanti Rajapaksa. So NIC number is 92s and we. What has happened in politics now? The Prime Minister and the President have entered a form of politics where they show the file, show that they are prepared to take them to court and arrest them, and through that they tame these people. There is no longer a National Executive Council. It has not met since the 19th of April. We say it need not meet either. The term of the Council too is over. Its task is done. We will guarantee, however, that even if it is convened, the JVP will not participate.
Lakshman Kiryala, the Minister of Plantation Industries, says that no political influences will be exerted any further on the judiciary, the public service and the police. He made this comment speaking at an event in Colombo today.
The event was held to assess the projects undertaken by state-owned BCC Lanka Limited parallel to the government's 100-day program and to launch its new website.
Look at how they worked for the previous election. 5,000 million rupees in public funds were spent on the elections. That is excluding the cost for vehicles. 5,000 million rupees was spent to ensure victory at the election. According to a source, there were stacks of money in the living room of a palace in Kandy during the last 2 weeks. Stacks of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Those were your money. Therefore, from now on, no one will be able to exert pressure on the police, the judiciary, the public service and the Attorney General Department.
Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Sajid Premadasa says certain members of the opposition cannot bear defeat. He expressed these views at an event held in Kudagamanapaha, Mahanagapura in Lunugambehera.
The event was held in celebration of laying the foundation stone of the proposed 4 million rupee laboratory in the Mahanagapura Vidyalaya in Kudagamanapaha, Lunugambehera. The minister also took part in a piano session with the students.
Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the parliament will only be dissolved after a prime minister is appointed from the alliance. My dear friends, the prime minister is from the alliance. The current situation is an alliance of the SLFP and the UNP. Togetherness, unity, that is the alliance. The other thing is, my friends, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena cannot accept the 6.2 million votes that Maithripala Sirisena got. Whatever said and done, he will only accept Mahinda Rajapaksa, who received 5.8 million votes only. We might have to give Minister Dinesh Gunawardena a tuition class on what majority means.
Dinesh Gunawardena ඇමතිතුමාට බහුතරය කියන වචනේ පිළිබඳව tuition පන්තියක් දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙලා.
Confusion arose among politicians who attended an event to declare open the new technical laboratory at the Ananda Central College in Alpitia. The confusion was over the list of speakers for the event.
The event was held under the auspices of Gayantha Karunatilaka, Minister of Mass Media and Parliamentary Affairs. Provincial Councillor Geeta Kumar Singh also attended the event and was seen in a discussion with the school authorities over the list of speakers.
I was not prepared to give a speech. It was with great difficulty that I prepared a speech. I understood what politics is all about. A host of fleas attaches itself to a body. They attach themselves to one body and leave the other body. That is the political agenda. I learnt what politics is all about. We are in a country where this lie is the most famous. I am sick of such politics. Because I want to save myself from these fleas that cling on to the politicians, I wish you the very best.
පුතේ හොඳ මිනිස්සෙක් වෙන්න. පුතේ ගුණ යහපත්කම් ඉගෙන ගන්න. පුතේ තැනට සුදුසු විදියට හැසිරෙන්න ඉගෙන ගන්න.
Children become good citizens, learn good qualities, learn to behave according to the place you're in. We rarely hear these words from the parents these days. I recall a poem in the Subhashitaya.
පදයක් මට මතක් වෙනවා. ගුණ නැන බෙලෙන් යුතු පුතුමය ඉතාගා. ගුණයයි නැණයයි දෙකම පිහිටියේ නැත්නම් ඒ පුජ්‍යලයා කොච්චර උසස් තනතුරක් දරුවත් කොච්චර වැදගත් තැනක හිටියත් අංග සම්පූර්ණ පුජ්‍යලයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
If one does not have qualities and knowledge, one will not complete a person, no matter what position in society one is in. When this technical laboratory was declared open, I recall when the education minister of the previous government was laying a foundation stone. I too arrived as an opposition MP to bless the occasion. Power shifts based on the people's wishes. It is our responsibility to participate in these events.
ඉතින් ඒ අවස්ථාවල අපි ඒවට සම්බන්ධ වෙන එක අපේ වගකීම.
Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka, the President's nominee for the Constitutional Council, claims that nominations are yet to be made for the 3 impartial civil members of the Council. Legal experts say that as a result of the Constitutional Council not being established as yet, commissions under its purview have become inactive.
The Constitutional Council, as enacted by the 19th Amendment of the Constitution, comprises of 10 members. The Prime Minister, Speaker and Opposition Leader are automatic appointments to the Constitutional Council. The President too must nominate an MP to represent him on the Constitutional Council. The President must also appoint 5 nominees of the Prime Minister and the Opposition Leader, 2 of whom must be MPs, while the other 3 must be civil representatives. The remaining position on the Constitutional Council would be taken up by an MP, elected by the majority of Parliament, who should not be from the parties or independent groups of the Prime Minister or the Opposition Leader. The Constitutional Council is chaired by the Speaker.
The President has appointed his nominee. The Prime Minister has announced his nominee, and so has the Opposition Leader. The nominee, who is not from the parties of the Prime Minister or the Opposition Leader, has also been appointed. All that is left now is the appointment of the 3 civil representatives who are not MPs. When they are nominated as per the agreement of the Prime Minister and the Opposition Leader, the Constitutional Council will be established. The Council must then convene and submit their nominations for the other commissions to the President. The President has appointed me. I will represent the President on the Constitutional Council.
Nevertheless, certain legal experts point out that the failure to establish the Constitutional Council as yet has resulted in commissions under its purview being rendered inactive.
As a result of the 19th Amendment, several commissions have been rendered inactive. This is because the commissions must be appointed by the Constitutional Council post-19th Amendment. These include the Finance Commission, the Police Commission, the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, and the Human Rights Commission. These key commissions have become inactive after the enactment of the 19th Amendment because that power has been conferred on the Constitutional Council.
There is still uncertainty as to whether the Constitutional Council will be established before or after the general election.
The tenure of this council could be very short because it is being born close to an election. The stance is that its term would end when a new parliament is elected. One of the most important commissions here is the Elections Commission. The Independent Elections Commission has been vested with numerous powers. Since an Elections Commission has not been appointed to date since the 18th Amendment, the appointment of the current Elections Commissioner too is a temporary one. Thereby, an Elections Commission must be appointed prior to the election and the Commissioner must be empowered as the chief of that commission. Only then can we take a step towards holding a just and fair election.
Tensions flared on several occasions today during the sitting of the Western Provincial Council.
The group leader of the Democratic Party, Susil Kindelpitiya, made a statement regarding the people who were affected by the garbage issue in Mituramulla while speaking at the Western Provincial Council sitting today.
The garbage mountain has been a problem for the past 20 years. The people expressed their peaceful opposition to this issue. In truth, though such opposition was shown for many years by these people, the police have never behaved in this manner. Not even if the police are induced to act in such a manner. However, Police SP Veerasinghe gave an order to use water cannons on them. One person was admitted to hospital after a high-pressure blast of water hit him in the eye. I'm saying that on one hand, my benefits have been taken away. I too fell victim to this water attack. I told the police that they had done something very wrong. No, it was not done on purpose. There was nothing else to be done. But truly speaking, there was no requirement for such a water attack to take place.
Tensions flared when Provincial Minister Upali Kodikara suggested that the council take over roads that come under the purview of local government authorities.
Two proposals that were included in the council agenda has been continuously postponed. So what is the urgent need for this?
A group of ruling party councillors also protested against the removal of UNP councillor George Pereira from the position of organizer of the Mahara electorate.
Do you have an eye to spot the extraordinary? Is there a news value to what you see? How would you like to present what you see to the world through News First? Join the more than 20,000 strong network of News First U reporters. Visit www.ureport.lk. To stay up to date, like the official Facebook page at facebook.com/News First U Report. Call 0114 896 896.
News First revisited the scene of the fire that erupted in Maradana yesterday, claiming 3 lives. Preliminary inquiries have revealed that such incidents occur as a result of the failure to meet minimal safety standards in many buildings. News First Chaturanga Hapurachi reports.
It was revealed today that the lives of the public are at stake as a number of business establishments and buildings in Colombo do not have emergency exits. This revelation came to light during an inquiry we undertook into the cause of the fire at a restaurant in Maradana yesterday. The remains of the gutted restaurant bore testament to the tragedy that had been wrought there. The entrance to the restaurant is the only way in or out of the establishment. The building did not even have the mandatory back door.
There was no exit in the building. People had to climb onto the roof. There must be an exit. That is why this incident occurred.
While there would have to be at least 10 feet of free space between the boundary and the back of the building for construction to be approved, such free space was not to be seen. Thus, it was difficult to rescue those who were stuck on the wall at the back of the building. This is the location where 3 people were killed yesterday owing to a fire in the Maradana area. Now, if I'm to tell you what I see here at this moment, this is the bathroom which they were trapped during the fire, and as you can see, a ceiling sheet has also been removed. They were trapped here because there was no way of exiting the place when the fire erupted. As you can see, there is a barbed wire onto the right side, and there is no exit from behind from which they can leave. So these 3 individuals were killed because they were trapped here for a very long time. Such buildings have to get the approval of the fire and rescue unit as well as the municipal council.
Protection embedded in the building itself. So for example, the compartmentation. In a building, the building should be compartmented up to a certain limit, and at the same time the means of escape. Every building there should be a back space. Now consider the Colombo city, the spaces are very limited, but the back space should be there. That is at least 10 feet in width. Fire equipment, starting from small fire extinguishers, total installation, the suppression system or detection system. ගොඩනැගිල්ල තුලම තිබිය යුතු. ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩනැගිල්ල ඒ සලසුමත් තුලම තිබිය යුතු අවශ්‍යතාවයන් තියෙනවා. ඒකත් තමයි ගොඩනැගිල්ලෙන් හදිසියෙ පිටවීම සඳහා පාවිච්චි කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන මේ පිටවීමේ මේ තරප්පු පෙළක් වගේ එකක්. උපකරණ සහ පද්ධති. ඒතර ඔය දෙකම අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා ගිනි ආරක්ෂාව සඳහා.
The Colombo Municipal Council too agreed to the views of the chief of the fire and rescue unit.
The Municipal Council has given the approval to carry out this establishment as a restaurant. No certification from the fire brigade was received. Steps have been taken to take legal action against the owner of the restaurant. Officials were notified to demolish the building. Disasters like this happen because they did something without permission.
Who should be held accountable for operating such unsafe business establishments?
This is the responsibility of the Municipal Council, but the public is also responsible for this. People should know that there are dangers to doing things like this for profit. It is hard to prevent such incidents without that. We should bring in harsh laws and implement them. The only thing we can do now is to file a case with the courts. We'll have to issue an order to annul these illegal constructions after discussing with the Urban Development Authority. We can take instant action if there is public awareness.
Will yesterday's fire in Maradana be an eye-opener to society and the authorities? Only time will tell. Chaturanga Hapuarachi, News First.
President Maithripala Sirisena presided over a felicitation ceremony for Dr. Milena Sumathipala yesterday in Colombo. Dr. Milena Sumathipala was a former chair of the All Ceylon Buddhist Congress.
The ceremony held at the BMICH was organized to mark the 80th birthday of Milena Sumathipala, who incidentally provided leadership in the establishment of a prominent conglomerate in the country. A book titled Milena, penned by Edwin Aryadasa, was presented to the President by Jagat Sumathipala. Another book titled Diriya Mata was also launched at the event.
මේ පවතින වාණිජ්‍ය සමාජයේ ආධ්‍යාත්මයෙන් පිරිහිච්ච
You are an example at a time where moral values in society are deteriorating. Today we come across mothers who throw their children into the rivers because they cannot raise them. Some elderly parents are shown scant respect by their children and put in elders' homes for their convenience after transferring the deeds into their names. Milena Sumathipala has provided a shining example as a real woman at a time when the morals of the society are deteriorating.
Milena Sumathipala මැතිණිය ඒ දින ආදර්ශය අපි තාමත් අගය කරනවා.
Former State Minister and President's Counsel Faiza Mustafa has been appointed as the legal advisor to President Maithripala Sirisena.
Faiza Mustafa, who was instrumental in creating the common opposition in bringing about a political change in the country, entered active politics in 2004 from the Kandy district. Faiza Mustafa also held ministerial and deputy ministerial portfolios and stepped down from his portfolio last December to support the current president while actively serving as an MP. Faiza Mustafa is the son of veteran lawyer President's Counsel Faiz Mustafa.
Minister of Tourism and Sports Navin Dissanayake has appointed an investigative committee to inquire into alleged irregularities and abuse of power by the former Executive Committee of Sri Lanka Cricket. Issuing a communique today, the media unit of the Ministry of Sports noted that senior state counsels Ravi Algama and Jalia Buddhihenegoda and attorney at law Varuna Mallavarachi had been appointed to the investigative committee. The communique reads further that the first sitting of the committee was held at the Ministry of Sports today and that further sittings would be held at the headquarters of the National Olympic Committee.
In other sports news, the visiting West Indies women's cricket team beat Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in the third and final women's T20 international to seal the series 2-1.
Batting first at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, the Sri Lankan women's team could only post 74 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Chamari Atapattu top scored for the Lankan side with 43 runs. Hayley Matthews ripped the Lankan lineup with 4 wickets, giving away only 10 runs. Batting in response, the West Indies women chased down the target in just 11.2 overs. Stephanie Taylor top scored with 38, while Hayley Matthews contributed with an unbeaten 32. Hayley Matthews was rightly adjudged the player of the match.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nicola D'Zoiza.
And I'm Shamir Rasuldin. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Till then, take care and good night.